My car was stolen from the Humboldt Park area. It was at the end of June.
On Sunday, August 6th, I left my house to go pick up groceries and found it was gone.
My vehicle was stolen in Chicago Sunday.
These Kia owners are the latest victims in a very long and growing list of individuals who've had their cars stolen across Chicago. That's why the city of Chicago is suing automakers Kia and Hyundai.
It's only fair that these companies be held accountable for their failure to include just a very basic safety feature.
Attorney Steve Kane says the two companies have allegedly deceived customers into thinking the vehicles possess anti-theft technology. The lawsuit states the theft surged last summer once videos on social media were posted showing the security defects.
To the point where in some months, more than 60% of all the car thefts in the city are of Hyundais and Kias.
To make matters worse, Kane says the stolen vehicles have been used to commit other violent crimes.
And include robbery and murder. So it's not just the joyriding, which is bad in and of itself.
Kelly says her Zeltos was totaled when police found it days after she reported it stolen. She shared this surveillance video to show the moments after she says a group of boys drove off with it.
They took my car, they flashed their brights to the other kid that was like waiting nearby. He rides his divvy bike up, dumps the divvy bike, and then jumps in the car and they take off. They run a stop sign. They're speeding.
Boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. We got to talk about a story straight out of Cuckoo for Cocoa Puff world with a headline that you think that you would only see in the Babylon Bee. However, it is 100% real, okay? As woke Mayor Brandon Johnson refuses to condemn the agents of chaos teenagers that are destroying his city, okay, almost on a daily basis, despite his so-called summer jobs program, which was supposed to keep down the crime that happens in the city from these teenagers. Because, you know, the teenagers, they don't have anything to do in that big city, okay? They're hungry. They ain't got nothing to do. They need midnight basketball and Monopoly, right? They just don't have enough of that. This is why they are committing crimes. Again, his job program has not worked. Now, you're not supposed to demonize these teenagers. You're not supposed to talk bad about them. You're not supposed to say anything bad about them because they're kids, they're children, right? And you're also not supposed to say anything about the criminals who commit the crimes as well either, because that's racist, right? So what does woke Mayor Brandon Johnson decide to do in order to try to place blame on why his city has so many crimes? In this video, we're talking specifically about car thefts. Well, he places the blame not on the people actually committing the thefts, not on the criminals, but on the automakers, because allegedly, according to him, they're making their cars too easy to steal, so therefore it's their fault, right? It's their fault that their cars are getting stolen and that Chicago is experiencing this crime crisis. Therefore, they should be held accountable, not the criminals. Take a look.
The mayor of Chicago is now suing the car makers Hyundai and Kia, claiming that their cars are too easy to steal. Mayor Johnson saying, quote, "The failure of Kia and Hyundai to install basic auto theft prevention technology in these models is sheer negligence. And as a result, a citywide and nationwide crime spree around automobile theft has been unfolding. As motor vehicle thefts are up in the city 104% year over year. Look at that, 19,000 car thefts in 2023. Here with reaction, Chicago Alderman Raymond Lopez. Raymond, good morning to you.
Good morning, Steve.
What do you make of your mayor saying, we've had like 20,000 car thefts, but essentially it's the car's fault?
Clearly, we don't have a crime problem. We have a Kia problem in the city of Chicago, according to Mayor Johnson.
Right.
And the numbers speak for themselves. 104% increase from last year, a 234% increase in vehicle thefts from 2 years ago. But yet it's the car's fault. It's the fact that they are so easily taken by criminals who run rampant in the city of Chicago. But we have yet to hear our mayor say anything, word one, about the criminals running rampant in our streets. And all he does in turn is lambast the media, lambast those who try to hold criminals accountable by playing word games with individuals saying that you can't call them mob action because it's little Capones. You can't call them criminal youth because they're just making silly decisions. And the ones who are taking note are the irrepentant individuals who are committed to acts of crime in Chicago.
Yeah, so how stupid is this guy, right? Imagine being Kia and Hyundai and getting sued because there's so many criminals in Chicago that are stealing cars that the mayor decides to sue you rather than actually go after the criminals who are committing the crime. Again, it is absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing just how ass backwards these progressive socialist mayors are in this country, okay? These might be some of the dumbest people that we've ever seen. I'm so serious about that, okay? Because only an idiot would put more resources into suing car makers for having their car stolen rather than put effort and resources into actually arresting the criminals who are still in the cars, right? Make the criminal punishments so tough for those who commit this crime that they don't want to do it, right? And you need to make sure you're locking up the ones that do it, okay? I think car theft, again, to actually steal somebody else's car, that to me is a serious crime. It is a serious crime, okay? We're talking about stealing a car. That's not a petty thing. That's not stealing a pack of gum at the store. No, we're talking about stealing a whole vehicle, okay? These criminals are essentially dismantling and taking advantage of the security systems in these cars, and they're going into these cars and they're taking them. They're robbing people. And the response is not to lock them up, to be tough on them, to go after them. Nah, you got to go after the car makers. It's their fault, right? Your car is too easy to steal. What's your problem, right? Again, it's amazing. It's amazing. I for the life of me, I still cannot believe that Chicago residents voted for this guy. I cannot believe it, right? I can't believe it. It boggles my mind that the people of that city decided to stand by a guy who clearly lacks even a basic ounce of common sense. I've never seen anything like this before in my life. It was hard to imagine them electing a mayor worse than Lori Lightfoot. I thought for sure that the next mayor, I wouldn't be talking about Chicago at all, right? The Chicago grift was over, okay? The Chicago grift was over, okay? Can't talk about it anymore because they're going to get somebody decently competent in office, right? They were going to get a right-leaning Democrat who was going to be tough on crime. No, no, we didn't get that. We got somebody worse than Lori Lightfoot, and now I'm talking about Chicago more than ever, right? Because this guy is going to drive that city into the ground. There is no doubt in my mind, 2 to 3 years from now, this city will be unrecognizable. I mean, it's already on the point now where it's unrecognizable. I mean, I'm telling you, 2 or 3 years from now, this will be a woke wasteland. It will be a woke wasteland, I promise. This is an example of what happens when you vote Democrat, right? And this is kind of why I think that it's important for Chicago to go through what they're going through, because it shows the rest of the country that this is what you get when you vote Democrat, right? When you continue to vote Democrat decade after decade after decade, and you don't actually vote for anything else, no other political party is even allowed to operate in your city, this is what happens. This is exactly what happens. I want the woke progressive experiment to finally be exposed for what it is, a fraud, right? I mean, we already have cities like San Francisco, Oakland, that shows you what happens. But again, if you continue to have city after city after city fall due to woke progressivism, maybe, just maybe, this country will wake up. On the next election cycle, the next major election cycle, if we don't see a wave of progressives being kicked out of office, being voted out for right-leaning Democrats and Republicans, this country is screwed, right? These inner liberal cities are screwed. There's no redeeming these cities, okay? Because, I mean, clearly, I mean, you got people that are in the streets begging these people to lock up criminals, begging them to do something about the crime crisis, begging for them to clean up the city. And they all know that wokeness is the problem, soft on crime is the problem, defund the police is the problem. But then if they go right back to the voting booth and they vote for more progressives, these inner liberal cities are done forever, right? They're done forever. There's nothing you can do about it, right? There's nothing that will change these people in their voting habits. At the very least, they have to start voting for right-leaning Democrats, right? They have to show they can vote for right-leaning Democrats, okay? Again, because a lot of Republicans aren't running in these cities, and that's fine. And they shouldn't. They shouldn't run in the city. Don't run in the city until right-leaning Democrats start winning. Because if right-leaning Democrats can't win, then Republicans damn sure ain't winning. And these people won't vote for a right-leaning Democrat, they'll never vote for Republican, right? Which means their cities will never be saved. They will never have a Rudy Giuliani type fix when it comes to crime in these cities. Okay, they're not gonna have it. It's never gonna happen. It's never gonna happen. So we'll see. This next election cycle is gonna tell us whether or not the people in these inner liberal cities actually want to change their reality, or they're happy with their cities being shitholes. We'll see. I don't have much faith, but hey, stranger things have happened. Let me know what you guys think. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Most importantly, share a Black conservative perspective. Peace.